In the last session, we have seen the working of the JK flip-flop and what is toggle condition and how you are able to overcome the indeterminate condition of your RS flip-flop. In today's session, we will analyze the characteristic table, modified characteristic table, excitation table, and we will derive a characteristic equation, and we will see what is the significance of this waveform in today's class. Okay, first we will start with the characteristic table. What is characteristic table? So, if the present state and the inputs are given, if you are going to compute the next state, then it is called as a characteristic table. Right. Now, I have the inputs j and k as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, where the present state can be either 0 or 1. In other words, if I am going to write it in terms of 3 inputs, it is the data ranges from 0 to 7. Now, we will see how to plot the next state, right. So, when the inputs is 0, 0, it was a no change condition, right. So, this 0 appears as it is. When my k is 1, what is the condition? It is a reset signal. So, whatever is the data, it will reset my output to 0. Whenever my set signal is 1, that is j is equivalent to set signal, it sets the flip-flop to 1. When the condition is 1, 1, what did I say? It is the toggle condition. Toggling means switching to the opposite state, right. So, when the value is 0, it will switch on to the 1. Now, we will move on to the next condition. When the inputs are 0, 0, when the present state is 1, it is the no change condition. So, this 1 which is existing in the present state will appear in the next state. When it is going to be 0, 1, it is going to set my flip-flop to reset my flip-flop to 0. When the set is 1, it is going to set my flip-flop to 1. When it is going to be 1, 1, you can see the previous state was 1. So, it changes my state to 0. So, this condition is the toggle condition in your JK flip-flop. Now, we are just going to rearrange this characteristic table in order to arrive your excitation table. Now, we will take the present state and next state where you are going to have the 4 combinations 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So, these 8 states are going to be reduced to 4 states. Okay. The first one 0, 0, 0, 0. So, which I have written it here. Okay. So, these two 0, 0s. For this 0, 0, what is the input? 0, 0, 0, 1. So, 0, 0, 0, 1 written. Okay. Now, we will come for 0, 1 condition. So, 0, 1, 0, 1. So, what is the input condition? It is 1, 0, 1, 1. So, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Done with? Now, we will move on to the next one. So, the next is 1, 0 condition. So, 1, 0, 1, 0. When my present and next state is 1, 0 and 1, 0. Okay, what will be the condition? It is 0, 1 and 1, 1. So, 0, 1 and 1, 1 it is written here, right. So, whenever I am going to go for the last condition 1, 1 and 1, 1 means, okay. So, here this is 1, 1 and 1, 1. So, what is my corresponding inputs? It is 0, 0, 1, 0. So, 0, 0, 1, 0. Just frame this table, right. Now, first input is 0, 0. So, I am putting 0. 0, 1, it can have either of the states, so I am marking it as don't care. Now, the other one is 1, 1, so I am writing it as 1. 0, 1 means don't care. 0, 1, so I am putting don't care. 1, 1, 1 I have written here. Next 0, 1, so don't care. 0, 0, 0. So, now both are same 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. The states are same which has been written here. So, what is excitation table? When the present state and the next state is given, if you are going to compute your inputs, that is your excitation table. That is, whenever a data is going to be transferred from the present state to the, when it is going to be causing a transition from the present state to the next state, for which what is going to be your inputs you are going to compute, that gives the excitation table, right. So, I am writing all the 4 combinations 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. And this condition I am going to write it here 0x, 1x, x1 and x0. So, this completes your excitation table. Okay. The students are advised to remember the truth table and the excitation table because it will be useful for designing the counters. Okay, now we will move on to the last part. Okay, so we are just giving the clock pulse signal and we are taking the general waveform of your J and K. Okay, so in this case, what you are seeing a new concept like this. Okay, so here in these places, okay, the waveform is having ups and downs. In these places, the J and K is 1. So what is the significance? It is in toggle state. Okay, so only one, when both the inputs are 1, if you could see, it is not retaining in the same state as it is, it becomes 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. This process is called as toggling. When both the inputs are 1, 1, it changes more than once. That is, within a single clock pulse, it is changing its state twice or thrice or 4 times. Similarly, here if you see, the inputs are 1, 1, but the output changes many times in a single clock cycle. Before it could reach the next clock cycle, here itself it changes many times. So this process is called as toggling. It results in a condition called as your race around condition. So when it is going to toggle more than 1 times in a single clock pulse, it is called as a race around condition. So this is one of the disadvantage in case of your JK flip-flop. Okay, so the toggling more than once during one clock pulse is applied when the inputs are high is called as your race around condition. Thank you. In the next session, we will be seeing about the working of the T flip-flop or toggle flip-flop. Thank you.